What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with my MLB preseason power rankings. You're seeing this on opening day, saving it just in time for the best time to release it for baseball. And let's just get into it here. You get 26 through 30, some new logos for some teams, new team names with athletics. That's it. That's all they got. And these teams, bottom of the barrel, but I do think the Athletics could be a sneaky team come July, September that you don't want to play. And they added Severino, they added Jeffrey Springs in a trade with Tampa Bay, added Leclerc. So this team is going to be okay. They have some young prospects coming up. I think Lawrence Butler is going to be a star. Brent Rooker is obviously great. And another team in the AL West, you got the Angels, and I can't bet on this team just because one, they're very inconsistent and they always get hurt. But they did add a few pieces here to try and get better. Kikuchi's their day one starter. Soler obviously mashes, but wouldn't be shocked if they trade him at the deadline. Same goes for the Rockies. Didn't do too much in the offseason. They're just going to be the same old, same old. Probably win 55, 60 games like they did last year. Marlins, obviously their big storyline. Sandy Alcantara, he's going to be pitching, but for how long for this team before they trade him away? And then the White Sox. You can see there they made a lot of moves because, well, when you win 36 games, you got to retool this whole roster. They got Kyle Teel in a trade from Boston for Garrett Crochet, as long as Cam Booster and Braden Montgomery. Added Michael Taylor, Martin Perez, Josh Rojas, a bunch of mid guys, but the prospects, I like the return for the White Sox, getting Teal, Montgomery. Those two guys could be immediate impacts here on day one. 21 through 25. And if you're looking at this thing just straight up, I'm sure you're looking at the Cardinals additions. Yeah, it's zero, zilch, nothing. And it's kind of the story of the Cardinals franchise the last few years. Once Pujols retired, done absolutely nothing. And I think it's going to be yet again the same thing. Tampa Bay ahead of them at 21. Added a little from Detroit in trades for relief pitching. Added Ha-Seong Kim. But this team's still without a stadium. They're playing in Yankee Stadium at George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. They're actually going to be in Tampa for once, which is great. But the Rays, I think they're going to be right around that 81 and 81. The Reds could be an interesting team to watch out for, along with the Pirates out of the NL Central. I think that's the biggest division up in the air coming into this year. The Reds did a lot. Obviously, added Terry Francona. The manager brought him back out of retirement. Gavin Lux could be an interesting piece. Brady Singer, great starting pitcher. And, with LA healthy, the Reds could be a sneaky team. Same with the Pirates. I think they just need to add a few more bats if they're really going to contend this year. But they have a good farm system. Obviously, Skeens is great, but Jared Jones being hurt for a question mark. Nobody knows how long he's going to be out. That's a big blow for them. But the Pirates could be another sneaky team to watch out for. 16 through 20, these are teams that could be a wild card team or just miss. And it might be a crime ranking the Red Sox this low. They got to prove it to me first. I'm a prove it guy. I'm not going to just go all in on a team week one and then they, are still struggling to find out how to play with each other. But the Red Sox do deserve a decent ranking here. Added Crochet, Sandoval, Bueller, Chapman, Bregman. This team 2 years ago is elite, obviously with the Chapman and Bueller, but Bueller and Chapman have some big question marks coming into this year. And adding Crochet, I think, is the best move they could have done all offseason. Bregman was just the cherry on the top. Blue Jays, they're trying to compete with the Red Sox. They added Santander, which I think is an awesome move for them. Andres Jimenez is probably going to be one of the best pickups of the offseason in the trade with Cleveland that people aren't going to realize because this dude is very consistent. And the Blue Jays need consistency, but the rotation scares me. Max Scherzer, how many times is he going to actually pitch this year? Bowden Francis is going to be all right, but they're going to have to rely on veterans. Barrios, Gosman, those guys are going to have to step up. Twins didn't do too much this offseason, and they just got to stay healthy. That's all it is. If they stay healthy, this Twins team is going to be very good. The Brewers, if they stay healthy, they'll probably be in contention for the NL Central as well. Then the Giants, yeah, they signed some big names, but only two people. And I don't think they're going to contend in the NL West when you got the Padres, Diamondbacks, and the Dodgers, of course, ahead of you. But the Giants could be another 81 and 81 team. 11 through 15, you got the Tigers, Astros, Guardians, Royals, Mariners, all AL teams here, and all these teams could be in any order. Biased because I'm a Tigers fan, but they did add some good pieces here to complement this team, especially to complement Tarek Skubal, adding Jack Flaherty back. They traded him to LA, gave him a free championship. He re-signs with us. So it's a win-win for both sides. Houston Astros adding Christian Walker and Paredes. I think those are some good moves as well. They lost obviously Bregman, and they lost Tucker, but I think it's going to be enough for the Astros. I'm not saying they're going to win the AL West, but I think they're going to contend. Guardians and Royals, also in AL Central, doing bare minimum to get by. The Guardians pitching obviously is outstanding, but their hitting is the biggest question mark outside of Jose Ramirez. Can it be enough this year? Royals, same goes for them. Pitching is outstanding, but can their hitting, besides Bobby Witt and Salvi, be enough? Then the Mariners. If you're a Mariners fan, I think you're just questioning what's going on in that GM room the whole offseason. That's all you added after a disappointing year. Maybe we need to shake up the roster a little bit. I get they added Randy and Randy's still there, but I think Randy's going to have a great year this year. Now, really acclimated to Seattle. I think he can do very well. 6 through 10. Padres didn't do too much because I think that team is very good and they're still going to be good as they're still looking to trade Cease, but who knows how that'll go. Braves at 7, adding Profar, I think is a great compliment because it seems like an outfielder for them always gets hurt every single year, and Profar is going to be great for that. Arizona Diamondbacks at 8, adding Josh Naylor is going to be an elite move. Obviously, after they pivoted after Christian Walker, they bring in Naylor, and I don't think you could do much better than that talent-wise and kind of same production. Corbin Burns, huge addition for them as well to really bolster that roster. Jordan Montgomery's done for the year. Some big loss for them. But Kendall Graveman could be a sneaky signing. I think could have a very good year, bounce back year. Then the Rangers and Cubs, as you can see there, added a ton of pieces. Rangers more on the bullpen because then that bullpen last year was something, and they definitely needed to do so. The Cubs, same thing, added to the bullpen. They really needed to, especially Ryan Presley. I think that was an interesting trade for both parties, but bringing Presley in, and especially Ryan Brazier as well, is great for that lineup. And then Justin Turner, a veteran presence in that locker room, is going to be great, along with Kyle Tucker. The list goes on and on and on for the Cubs. Lots of expectations for the Cubs this year to be a very good ball club. 1 through 5, I don't think there's any surprise here. You could probably put 2 through 5 in any order besides number 1, just because the Dodgers, last year's champions, and they get better. Adding Conforto, Ha-Sung Kim, Blake Snell, Sasaki, Tanner Scott, Kirby Yates. Seems like they're just doing it for fun. This team gets better. Mookie Betts is concerning a little bit, so hopefully he can get back pretty quick after losing 25 pounds. But I think this Dodgers team, they might be even better than they were last year. They might win 115 games, set the record. I wouldn't be shocked if they do so. And then the Mets added Juan Soto, obviously, from the Yankees in free agency. Added Jose Siri, which is a great signing as well. But pitching, yet again, is going to be the consistent question mark from this Mets team. If they can get, I don't know, 150 innings out of their 4 and 5 guys, I think it's a win for them. Because this team is going to make the playoffs unless everyone on this team gets hurt. Let's be honest. But the NL East is going to be brutal this year with the Phillies and, of course, the Mets now obviously being so dominant. And then the Braves always in it. So there's going to be some teams that are going to be really good there. And then speaking of the East, you're going to go to the AL East with the Yankees and Orioles. Yankees lost Soto, of course, but they brought in Bellinger, which I think is great. Great swing for that ballpark. Goldschmidt is looking to have a bounce back year and mashing in spring training. Max Fried, Devin Williams, great pitching additions, but pitching is their question mark now with Cole done for the year, Gill out for 2 to 3 months. This Yankees team is going to have to figure it out quickly and shorthanded. The O's brought in some good hitting, but once again, their pitching. I'm surprised they didn't re-sign Burns or at least make a huge offer to get him because he really made this team go last year from a pitching standpoint. You lose that production and you bring in a 41-year-old Charlie Morton to somehow eat up some innings. I don't like that. G-Rod is still rehabbing. So the Orioles are going to struggle out of the gates, I think, pitching wise, but hitting that lineup is still scary. One of the best lineups in the AL. And then the Phillies round out the top 5, and everyone has kind of counted out Jesus Luzardo. This dude is going to, I think, have a huge year and be in the Cy Young running because he got out of Miami. Miami was awful for him. Great pitcher, but they couldn't win for him, and he just didn't have any defense behind him. Now he gets both of that. And the Phillies, I think they're going to be a team with Luzardo and Nola, Wheeler, that lineup, of course, that I think they could win 100 games this year as well. Just everything obviously has to go their way. That's going to be it for my preseason power rankings. check back not this Monday, but the Monday after as I'll update my power rankings and we'll go back into the week by week. But until the next time, the bench buddies are out.